everybody, my name is Natalia Leigh and I'm the author of the young adult novels Highborn and Way of Spears, and today I am going to be sharing with you my top 9 tips to crush Nanowrimo 2017. Let's get started. So as a 3-time Nanowrimo winner, I have definitely come up with a few tips and tricks that have helped me write 50,000 words in a month, and I'm hoping that some of these tips will help you as well. All right, let's just jump right into it. My first tip is to write as much as possible during the first week of Nanowrimo. The first week is when you are going to be most excited about your project and most excited about Nanowrimo. So you should utilize all of that energy and inspiration and write as much as possible. Because once week 2 and 3 roll around, your inspiration is probably going to kind of plummet, your energy is going to fall, and you are not going to be as excited about writing 50,000 words in a month. So try to get ahead of your word count goal in that first 7 days in order to help you through the more difficult weeks that are bound to come. My second tip is to participate in word sprints and community events. Word sprints are really helpful for me, especially during Nanowrimo, because they force me to focus on one thing, which is writing, for a set amount of time. If I try to do a word sprint that's too long, then I end up getting distracted by my phone or the computer or talking to somebody that's at the house. But if I set a watch timer for myself and I say, okay, I'm going to write for 5 minutes and that's all I'm going to do, or 10 minutes or 15, then I'm able to dedicate that 15 minutes to writing only, and I get a lot done. The other thing that's great about word sprints, which ties in with community events, is that other people do them with you. And Nanowrimo actually changed and updated their website this year to include word sprints, so we can actually host them right from the Nanowrimo homepage, which is really exciting. So try to get involved with as many people and with as many word sprints and community events as possible, because it's really going to keep you inspired and moving forward with your project. All right, my third tip is to set a schedule or routine for yourself. And I know that this can be difficult, especially if you have a really busy life and work schedule that interferes with your writing time. But even if you can set aside, 10 minutes every morning, maybe you're ready for work, you have your morning coffee, and you usually spend 10 minutes browsing Facebook on your phone or something, try to set aside that 10 minutes every single morning for Nanowrimo. And it will take a little bit of time to get into this routine, but once you are in that routine, it becomes something that you cling to, or I do at least. Like once I have that routine, like a writing routine, I don't want to mess it up. I want to make sure that I have time to write every single day and that I set it aside for myself. And this is going to be really important in November because it can be so busy. The entire month can just get so cluttered and you're doing so many things. And if you don't have a routine to write, then you might just kind of abandon your project, which is the last thing I want you to do. I want you to be able to succeed and write 50,000 words. So if that means setting aside 10 minutes every single morning to work on your Nanowrimo project, then I really believe that that is what you should do. Give yourself the time to sit down and enjoy your craft and make sure that you don't let anything else interfere with that. Tip number 4 might be a little bit difficult for some people, but it's actually really easy for me. And that is just don't look back while you are writing. Do not edit as you go. Do not write a paragraph and then go back and edit the paragraph. I know that some people write this way, which is awesome. That's totally fine if this is your method. But when it comes to Nanowrimo, right now we are seeking quantity over quality. The way I look at it is you cannot polish words that don't exist. So if you are spending all your time editing the few words that you already have, you may never finish and you may never have a novel that you can actually polish and shine up. So I would recommend just writing blindly if you can. Just focus on moving forward. Do not look back. Hakuna Matata, and make sure that you are not editing. Just write on, move forward, and we can edit in the months that follow November. That's what the now what months are for. What do I do with this novel that I wrote? but you're not going to be able to participate in those months if you don't write a novel. So make sure you are not editing, you're just writing and moving forward. My fifth tip is to write every single day. Now, this does not mean that you have to write, 1,667 words every day, but it does mean that you need to sit your butt down in a chair or at the kitchen table or wherever it is that you like to write and put some words down. Either write them on paper so you can count them up later, or grab out your, laptop or your tablet or whatever you're using to write and get some words down. Even if you only write 100 words, that's 100 fewer words that you have to write the next day or that you have to catch up with. And plus, when you are sitting down and writing every single day, no matter how many words you write, it helps to keep you immersed in your story world so you're not creating distance between yourself and your characters. All right, my sixth tip is to set up a small, tidy writing space for yourself. This year, I'm very grateful because I have an office for the first time in my life, and I'm really excited about it. So if you set up a small space for yourself, even if that's a cozy chair in your living room that has an outlet nearby so you can plug in your laptop, and maybe a little side table so you can have your coffee or your notebook and your pens, whether it's that chair or an office, or maybe you live in a dorm room and you set up a little corner for yourself with twinkle lights and pillows where you can sit down. As long as you have that space where you can kind of escape to, I think it'll be extremely beneficial for your work ethic, because once you seat yourself down in that tidy workspace, it's going to help you get into the mindset to work. Now, I keep saying tidy because having cleanliness around me is really important. I cannot write and work properly if it's very cluttered and just dirty surroundings around me. So I recommend setting up a tidy, small, clean, and organized workspace where you can spend time every single day for NaNoWriMo to write those 50,000 words. All right, tip number 7 is to create a playlist for yourself. I'm somebody that gets a lot of my inspiration for writing from music. So especially when I'm leading up to something like NaNoWriMo, I like to put a playlist together for myself. You can use YouTube if you like, Spotify, what else? SoundCloud. What I do is I kind of assign a song to a specific scene in my mind that I'm really looking forward to writing. So every time I hear that song, I'm thinking about that scene and I'm getting excited to write it. And the other thing is, once you have this playlist, try to listen to it as often as possible during November. What I do is I just take my Bluetooth speaker with me when I'm in the car, and that attaches to my phone, and then I just hit play on the playlist that I've created for myself on YouTube, and then I don't have to look at it again, I don't have to touch it again, I just put my phone to the side, and that entire playlist will run through while I'm in the car, and it's really fun to just kind of stay immersed in your world that way, even when you're away from the computer or away from the pen and paper, and you can just stick with your characters and continue thinking about them so that when you have time to write again, you're more excited to move forward with those scenes. My 8th tip is to get involved on the NaNoWriMo forums and find a few writing buddies to kind of stick with throughout the month. NaNoWriMo is a very kind of community-driven event, and I definitely find that if you are involved with people and you're cheering each other on and you're talking in the forums, then you are much more likely to stick with your project and see it out to the end, to 50,000 words, because I've talked about before how writing can be a very solitary and isolating activity sometimes. But if you seek people out that are doing the same thing as you are all over the world, then it really helps you feel connected to others, and it helps fuel your desire and your passion to finish your project. Because not only do you want to make yourself proud, but now you want to make your friends proud too, your buddies. And I honestly believe that I finished Song of the Dryad because I had such support from you guys here on YouTube. And if I didn't have that big family backing me up and encouraging me and supporting me, I may have been less likely to really dig in and push through when times got tough with this book. Song of the Dryad was the hardest novel I've ever written, and I really truly believe that the community of writers that surround me here on YouTube was the reason that I completed that novel. So make sure that you are seeking out writing buddies and that you are participating in the forums and any community event that you can in order to feel supported and encouraged and loved within this writing community. There is so much love to go around, and I know that you will be able to write 50,000 so much easier if you feel that love and you feel that support. All right, tip number 9 is to plan and prepare. So I am definitely a plotter, 100%. I love to plot. If you are prepared, then you know exactly what you're going to write every single day, and it's much easier to sit down and get started than it would be if you had no idea where your story was going. And also, if you have not picked up my Preptober workbook already, I would recommend it. I'm going to include some photos here of some lovely writers that have been using my Preptober workbook, and it will help you start at square one, having no idea what you're going to write about, and it will walk you through the entire process of coming up with ideas, developing a premise, creating characters and settings, even writing the back cover blurb for your book. So if you do not know where to get started with plotting and outlining and planning, and maybe you're a pantser that has never done this before, I would highly recommend grabbing one of those workbooks for yourself to just kind of get your foot in the door and start learning more about your plotting and planning process. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. I had a really fun time this morning, thinking through the past years that I've done Nanowrimo and trying to come up with tips that would have helped me back then had I not known them now. So those were the tips that I decided to share with you. Please share your tips for winning Nanowrimo down below if I didn't already say them in this video so that we can support and encourage each other. Nanowrimo is going to be here before we know it, and I am not yet done outlining my new novel. I am working on it a little bit every single day. I'm working through my Preptober workbook, and I have been loving the photos that you guys have been sending me of your workbooks. It truly makes my day when I get a photo of like a character profile that somebody has filled out, and it's incredibly exciting to see that the work I put into the workbook is paying off and so many people are enjoying it. The one thing I wanted to mention is I have been getting workbook donations from some people that have like a business PayPal, and when you send me a donation through a business PayPal, I cannot see your email, and then I have to try to like look you up on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and I have to try to find you. And there are a few people that I have not been able to send workbooks to because I don't know what your email is. So if you are somebody that has not received your workbook, then please send me an email at natalia.a.leigh@gmail.com and just kind of give me a little ping to let me know that you are waiting for it, because there are a few people that haven't received their workbooks yet because I have no idea how to get in contact with you. So again, if you would like to donate and receive a Preptober workbook, you can find the link in the description box down below. You just send a donation of any size, anything that is comfortable to you, and as soon as I can, I will email you the PDF and you can just print it out and it's yours to start plotting and planning. Remember, if you have a business PayPal account, please include in like the little description area what email I can send your workbook to so that you get it as soon as possible and I don't have to try to find you through all the different social media outlets. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching today. Please leave any requests for Nanowrimo videos down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!